let's look at the career of Kevin Holland, because I genuinely do think that this man could have fought for a title in his career, dude. Then that might be a hot take, but prime Kevin Holland, even glimmer in bits that we see of Kevin Holland now, this guy could have been special. He's a little bit past his prime now, maybe not. He's only 32, but I think if we saw Kevin Holland from the start of his UFC career until now, I think if he actually tried, I'll get into what I'm saying a little bit later, but if Kevin Holland actually wanted to be a champion, he could have been a champion, man. Well, this weekend he fought Gunnar Nelson, and in this fight, he was experiencing a rough patch before this fight, dude. He came off a loss to RDA. Before that, he had lost to Roman Dolidze, and it was just not looking good for him. A lot of people were saying that he could have even been cut if he lost this fight. And Kevin Holland, in classic Kevin Holland fashion, showed out, dude. He had a great performance. Maybe it wasn't a clear decision like we all would have hoped, but this guy beat Gunnar Nelson 30-27 in my opinion. He knocked down Gunnar Nelson in that first round, and he was just better than him throughout the whole fight. Constantly throwing up submissions when Gunnar Nelson had him down on the ground. His takedown defense for the first half of the fight did look good. The second half of that fight he kind of slowed down in takedown defense, but Kevin Holland has great takedown defense, great striking, knockout power. At welterweight, I think is his best division. He definitely has some potential at middleweight. He could maybe have fought for a title at middleweight, but I promise you, Kevin Holland could have definitely 100% even been a champion at welterweight, dude. This guy would have been a nightmare matchup for Kamaru Usman, but you guys aren't ready for that conversation yet. Let's look at his career. So obviously he started off in the Contender Series with the win over Will Santiago. After that, he took a pretty unfortunate loss to Thiago Santos in what was a big step up in competition. After that, he went on a 3-fight winning streak, defeating John Phillips by rear naked choke, Gerald Meerschaert by split decision, Alessandro De Chirico by unanimous decision, and after that, he did suffer a loss to Brendan Allen, but he was still the iconic Kevin Holland we all know and love, because in this time, after that loss to Brendan Allen, we've seen the Kevin Holland that we all know and love, 2020 Apex Kevin Holland, defeating Anthony Smith by KO, defeating Joaquin Buckley by KO, defeating Darren Stewart by decision, defeating Charlie Tavares by submission, defeating Jacare Souza by KO. This man was unstoppable in 2020. After 2020, he suffered a couple of unfortunate losses, like a loss to Derek Brunson and lost to Marvin Vettori, and even a weird situation with Kyle Dawkins. But still, dude, after that, he went on a 2-fight winning streak against Alex Oliveira and Tim Means. And after that, they sent him to the Lamb. They made him get slaughtered to Khamzat Chimaev. He took that fight on like a day's notice, though, because who missed weight, dude? Like, Khamzat missed weight. He was supposed to fight Nate Diaz. That would have been a mess. After that, Kevin Holland lost to Wonderboy Stephen Thompson. But then he went on a nice 2-fight winning streak against Santiago Ponzinibbio and Michael Chiesa. After that, he went on a 2-fight losing streak to Jack Della Maddalena and Michael Venom Page. And he won to Michael Oleksiejczuk by armbar, and was a pretty good fight. And after that, obviously, he had the 2 losses to Roman Dolidze and Reinier de Ridder. And now it brings us to where we are now. His win to Gunnar Nelson. Like I said, in that fight, he showed many things, dude. And one of the things he did show was heart. He showed heart in this fight. Gunnar Nelson had him in a actually pretty deep choke, an arm choke. And it looked to be in, Kevin Holland was in a pretty bad situation. I feel like for a second, he considered tapping. For a second, he was like, all right, should I just check in for the payday and dip, or should I actually try to win this? And no, he fought, and he fought hard to get out of it. Even in his last fight against RDA, when RDA had him in a submission, just after a couple seconds, Kevin Holland was probably going to tap, and you could tell that. He knew it in his mind. If he got locked into a good submission against RDA, he was going to tap. And in this fight, I think he showed heart, dude. That means a lot, dude. We see a lot. This fight did a lot for me. A lot of people were saying this was a disappointing performance from Kevin Holland, dude. But if you actually pay attention, this fight showed a lot from Kevin Holland, dude. He showed heart, he showed determination, he showed good takedown defense, he showed good striking, and yeah, man. So let's talk about what went wrong with this guy, because I think there are a couple things that prevented him from being champion. Look, first off, he smokes weed, and he smokes a lot, like 5 packs a day. Let's look at the clip of him saying it on Marty Mass's podcast.
About smoking some marijuana, right? I mean, last time I tried to get you on the podcast, hey, just so we know, I do it too. Last time I tried to get on the podcast, you were like, hey, I need a little smoke break here and there. Now, how often do you do it? Do you do it during training camp? Do you do it do you not do it in training camp? What is like your routine for that, because for me, I felt like it made me not a better athlete, but it gave me the opportunity to actually explore and believe in my talent, essentially.
I just smoke a lot of weed because I have a lot of energy and it keeps me calm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's like I wake up in the morning, I toke one. I probably took like 3 or 4 before I go to practice in the morning, and I smoke blunts. So I'm just like your OG boy. I'm just smoking them down. You know what I mean? Just blazing them all day. I probably, realistically, it's like, it's 15 packs of fucking guards in a box. I probably blaze down, if I'm smoking heavy and I got a road trip, that whole box is gone in a day.
Yeah, that is not healthy whatsoever, dude. I don't even know how this guy's a professional MMA fighter and he's doing that. It's just he doesn't care sometimes, dude. He doesn't care. He should not be doing that in camp, You should be more dedicated. You should be having more passion. And sometimes he just goes out and has a fun fight, dude. He says he's only doing MMA for the money. There's clips of him saying that. He said he was going to try to get 5 fights in a year in the Mighty Mouse podcast again. And I think that's what he's going for. He's going for 3 more fights this year. But I don't want him to be doing those fights just for the money. I want him to be doing those fights for his career, his legacy. You're probably wondering, what legacy is Kevin Holland going to leave behind? Dude, this man can still be a top 5 fighter, and I know that sounds crazy, dude. Kevin Holland, he's a jobber. He's 32. He's still young, man. This guy's not old at all. I still think that Kevin Holland has a lot of winnable fights at welterweight and middleweight, dude. I prefer him at welterweight, but even then, let's look at the top 15 of welterweight, dude. MVP, obviously he lost that fight, but he put up a decent fight. Vicente Luque, I'm picking Kevin Holland to win that fight. Carlos Prates, I'm not going to say that Kevin Holland's going to get chinned by Carlos Prates. Michael Morales, I think Kevin Holland would beat Michael Morales. Jeff Neal, Kevin Holland would beat Jeff Neal. Colby Covington, I genuinely do think that Kevin Holland could beat Colby Covington. We look at the bottom part of middleweight as well. Roman Kopylov, dude, I'm picking Kevin Holland to win that fight. Michelle Pereira, I'm definitely picking Kevin Holland to win that fight. Paulo Costa, I'm picking Kevin Holland to win that fight. Brendan Allen, that's a decent fight. I'm probably still going to pick Brendan Allen to win that fight, but he put up a good fight. Even people like Jared Cannonier, I think, would be a very tough matchup for Kevin Holland. But Kevin Holland definitely still could get it done. I just need to see passion. I need to see heart. And I need to see improvement, dude. Because Kevin Holland, he's looked the same for the last couple years. Not much improvement. This guy, his offensive jiu-jitsu, I think Kevin Holland's offensive jiu-jitsu is top 10 in the UFC. That might be a hot take, but this guy is constantly throwing up submission, doing anything he can to finish you. His defensive jiu-jitsu isn't the best, we'll say like top 25 maybe, but still, dude, this guy has, arguably, he's more of a threat on the ground than Charles Oliveira. You're gonna hate me for saying that, but it's true, dude. This guy is a threat on the ground. Maybe his submission rate doesn't show it, but he's always throwing up submissions every second of a fight. Every second of that Gunnar Nelson fight, he was trying to lock in a different submission. And I'm happy for Kevin Holland, dude. Me and him have always had a love-hate relationship, and I do think with more passion, with more heart, Kevin Holland can get it done. And yeah, man, he can be a champion. That's not ridiculous to say that. Thank you both for watching, and make sure to subscribe because we're trying to hit 800 subscribers by the end of the year. And I'll see you guys in the next one.